Okay, what a fun week. Well, I don't know about you, but let's do some updates. How did you do on the flash sale? And if you have a team member or more, how did you promote it or influence them or inspire them to share the flash sale? Oh, come up here. Come on. Do you like it? No.
So this plays into our inspire and influence. What did anybody do with their team as far as a core leadership quality for helping them be motivated to take advantage of these unique opportunities we get, like these flash sales?
So this,
They can
I
really.
have my video off, so. Oh, nope.
I can hear you, but not see you.
Who wants to share first? Their own personally
Share
what
about
they did?
the flash sale, or because if you got sales, you probably inspired or influenced your customers, righto?
Okay, I'll go.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bonnie.
Yeah, I borrowed your idea of the coffee, and only had 2 people that have posted so far from my little team, but that's 2 more than I thought maybe would. So use that. Tried to share a lot of flyers, promo flyers, and get out there, let your customers know, that type of thing. Tried to let them know that, especially my new people, that things sell out really fast. They've got to get on, and you got to, if you want anything, grab it right away. Don't take orders from other people. Get on and buy, and encourage your customers to do that too, because otherwise things disappear too fast. So that's what I did.
Oh, great. So when you said you shared flyers that's on social media, did you just mostly do Facebook?
Yes.
But I heard the other day, and some of you may already heard this, but I heard it from a 31 or 32-year-old that Facebook is for geriatrics.
I've heard that.
I've heard some only 35.
So
does that mean you use it?
Well, I here's a comeback for you, and that is people over 35 and middle age and older people might have a little more money to spend too. So there you go. They're not buying quite as many things as the ones that are just starting out. So I don't know.
That's a good
Do what
point.
you can.
Well, and so their main, to answer whoever just asked that question was, I think someone just asked what form of social media, and they use Instagram. Apparently.
Yes.
So I went cray-cray on Instagram last week. So great. Thanks, Bonnie. And it seems so simple. And I love how you also shared a little bit with your team members. So that's great. And it's one of those things, when you get a new team member, whenever we have anything, that is part of being a leader. You share it. And this is one thing that's hard for those of us who've been around for a while to remember to share it, because we've been doing it for so long. But I promise you, when we started figuring out, when we introduced a basket tester to the world, oh my gosh, you can bet that we were saying, oh my gosh, look at, this is what we said, this is what we did, this is who we went to, this is how we tried it, what'd you do? And that's how we did, all on the phone, of course, because we did not have Facebook. So go ahead.
I'm just going to say, I think too, we make Facebook too much of a crutch. At least I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how other consultants, particularly maybe the millennials, are into Instagram or maybe Twitter or some of the other Snapchat, some of the other tools that are available out there to reach. But I would think particularly, sharing the idea of your best customers, your your best, not just your best customers, maybe your best hosts that you've had in the past, making them aware of the flash sale. Facebook may not always be the best tool. Social media might not always be the best tool. Sometimes you might have to text them or call them, or they might even be email people. But, I think sometimes we just think we can put one post on Facebook and reach all of the people in our world, in our Sensi world. And I don't know whether that's always true.
Hey, you can thumbs up or give me yay, yippee-ki-yay, or both. How many of you got the email I sent out today about the flash sale for Monday, for tomorrow? Oh, good. 1, 2. I sent it. I don't send emails any longer through the workstation because they don't go in. Okay, good. Thanks, Emily. Because I do not want to rely on them. So I have Hotmail, and I don't know if any of you have a limit on the number of emails. Do you know if you do through your regular service, whether it's Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, etc.? So I play with it every time. So when I did the first one, the Flash Friday one, and gave you guys all that little shout out, I can only do, oh my God, like, let me do like 200 and something in one day. And then I'm out of emails for the whole rest of the day. And so I'm constantly playing with it because we have over 400 in our team. So that's hard to communicate with when I have a limit of emails. But today I did a random number, like I did 191, and then I did 137, just totally random. And then I waited a couple hours and did, so I was able to get an email out to every single one of our team members, but I just didn't know if you were all getting them because I didn't get any flags this time. So it sounds like you did. And my point there is, if you don't know your PRV right now, look it up tonight, jot it down, because the performance tab will go away tomorrow. And we're going to do another fun coffee challenge where I would love to buy 5 of you coffee based on how much you increase your PRV from today through tomorrow. And then I said 9 a.m. Saturday. But I forgot. I didn't realize it was a 24-hour sale. It was I only thought it was a 12-hour sale. So I'm going to post that again, the little coffee and all that, tomorrow. Okay, so
to elaborate on my point also, in communicating with your team members, is Facebook the only mechanism we're using? Is email the only mechanism we're using? Is maybe text get a better response? I know it isn't always easy to, if you've got a number of people, it isn't always easy to do phone calls, but of course phone calls are absolutely the best, but face-to-face, absolutely the best. But if you're really trying to influence and inspire your team to take advantage of the upcoming flash sale on Monday, think about your communication mechanisms that you use, because sometimes people are completely different. You can reach a third of your people you're trying to inspire and motivate this way, and the other ones might be this, and the other ones might be that. So keep that in mind also.
Okay, so give us a shout out. How are you feeling? And let's be real. This is our fun little small intimate group chat. We want to make this program duplicatable and intrinsic, meaning that it's something that you're getting some value from. So how are you feeling so far about the PRV, the 1200 PRV for the whole month of October? Just share your thoughts on it. Are you feeling good about it? Or you thought, oh my gosh, this is a little more challenge than I thought. Or this is my plan. What are your feelings? Is it realistic? Is it too much? And is that KP on the phone? And then I would love to hear, because I pulled up, you cannot minimize when I'm recording. Oh, all right. Well,
okay. I'll go first. So since I've been a consultant, August was my 3-year anniversary.
Woo! Happy Centiversary!
Thank you. I've only been over 1200 PRV one time, and that was last month. So the 1200, I'm not gonna lie, the 1200 is freaking me out. But I still have parties towards the end of the month. So they're closing at the end of the month. So fingers are crossed. I'm not giving up.
Yay! I love hearing that. What's your PRV at right now?
480-ish.
Okay.
480. So you're close to your 500, which is magical. Yeah. And we're not quite. We have one more day, or we can call tonight the end of the halfway mark. So that's amazing. And the second half of October, typically on trend, is a higher PRV opportunity because people now are starting to go to the bazaars, you know, that how they have the holiday bazaars, and then they're going to start seeing our holiday collection and start getting in the mood. Oh, and then did we mention there's a flash sale again tomorrow? So hopefully, Brandy, you know, it gives you that comfort where you know that you have, at least you have that extra avenue that was not banked on. None of us planned on having that flash sale, which is kind of why we're a little bit, we're holding back on the growth mindset and fixed mindset live dialogue. We're going to do that Tuesday, by the way, on the beach page. We're not going to not do it, but we figured, heck, we're going to do it here.
Well, and everyone's kind of busy with the flash sale, or at least they should be, because it's a unique opportunity we don't always get. And Brandy, that's fantastic. That's the idea behind a program like this, is to have to force ourselves to think a little harder, stretch a little bit more, maybe come up with some things we hadn't had to do before to do something we've never done before. And that was the first time last month that you've done that. You know, big kudos.
How awesome is that?
Kudos.
How did that feel, Brandy?
It was like super awesome. I was so excited. And honestly, my commission was enough to make my next house payment. So being able to do that with Scentsy, I was like, yes, I made it.
Will you share that
Wow.
on the beach page? Will you just put on there that, you know, that was the first month that you've done that and what that meant to you and the emotion that you know, that had for you? I think that's really awesome stuff to share.
Your first $1,200 month plus, or whatever it was. You can see the amount or not. But really, Brandy, that is so real. I love hearing that, because we don't know necessarily what is possible with this business. So all of you guys on right now, our little super fun Make a Splash group, you have a team member. And she says, I'm a little bit reserved about that 1,200. I'm not giving up on it, but I know the goal is 1,200 PRV. A little scary, done it once. What would you say to her as your team member?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking everyone else, because you're our pretend everyone's team member. And then, so you will post that. You can nod, right, Brandy, on the beach page? Okay, good. And then Bonnie and Melissa, I know you guys are going to post this week on the beach page too, or in the next day or two would be great. Just before, I know I said this weekend, but I just wanted to make sure it happens before Wednesday. And if you already did, yay, I'll go look, because we just got up to the condo and haven't caught up. Okay, cool. What would you say to a team member? Because this is real and you may feel it too. So if anyone has one thought, what can we say to encourage, guide, influence, and inspire Brandy in this particular case? But if you haven't, you're going to have a team member that's going to run into this. Okay, I made this my goal. I'm not quite there. You notice how Brandy did not say can't. So what would you say as one of these amazing beach leaders that you are?
Okay, I'll go ahead, and I would go back to the form that I've been using quite a bit with sponsors, just to help them get some ideas. I can't give them ideas, but I can certainly help them think of ideas. So start thinking about family, start thinking about the organizations to which they belong, the recreation that they do, and try to help them come up with some ideas. You know, keep asking questions about, well, is this an opportunity? Is that an opportunity? Let's just keep going and get you signed up call your church, call the YMCA, call, those kind of things. Brainstorm with them versus telling them, because when it comes from within, they're more likely to do it, and they will have that vested interest in it. And I think it just works out better for them.
Yeah, and so it's so great. Form. We can always go back to form. So, Melissa, I would love for you to share, and I know you're going to share, but maybe this is, did you already share? So sorry if you did, and then I just haven't watched it yet. Melissa, did you already share on the beach page? You can nod. Oh, well, you can put your camera on and first, because you've got your little still.
No, she did. She did.
Is that real? Are you in your car, Melissa? Okay, Melissa, I would love for you to chime in here. Tell us what you what you did to meet a team member. Let's say your most recent team member. How did you meet him? What did you say? What was your conversation like? So basically, how did you prospect him? And then what was your conversation? And what was your follow-up? And how did you literally ask the question about him joining?
I actually, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm in a car with lots of noise around, so I don't know if you can hear or not. So I've known him for a while.
Happy birthday. I see your son. Happy birthday, day late. It's your birth month.
So I've known him for a while, and I've been talking to him about what my experience has been. And it's just, I guess, by showing him, and he's finally decided to take the jump, and so he did. But it's taken some encouragement and being able to show him how successful he could be.
What does that mean? You show him how successful he can
by how I perform and how I do my sensing. By example.
So you were being kind of a contagious fun quotient, kind of, on purpose, showing them.
Exactly.
And then?
Can you give us a small example of maybe what
she did?
Yeah, was it like showing him like at a party or showing him
at work?
At work. I mean, how did that transpire?
I think it's actually a combination. So he has attended a party, and he's probably about 5 days a week. He's what I've done and what I get and the fun that I've had with Cincy. So I think that that's been a big part of it also too. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't know if the audio cut out for some of you, but I'm going to try to piece it. Did it cut out for anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay, did a little bit. But so Melissa, you worked with him and he had gone to a party, so he'd already seen it. And so what led you to literally, he ended up joining. So did you just walk up to him at work and go, hey, do you want to join Sensing now? I mean, how did that conversation go? Because that's where it seems so simple or basic for you. How did it all come together very authentically?
It actually just showed up in we were doing something, and his personality is perfect for Cincy. And so it just clicked in my head, and so I asked him about it when we were doing an activity together. And he said he had actually thought about joining a long time ago, and so but he just really didn't have the push to do it. But he really wanted to, so we talked more, gave him more details, basically shared everything that I knew and that I have enjoyed about Cincy. And so he decided he was just going to do it. He had to make a pay off part of a house loan first, and then he jumped in.
Oh, nice. So if any of you guys have questions for her, make sure you chime in or type it in. Did you have something to ask?
No, I was just going to say that that's a common scenario that we all should learn from, in that many times people haven't joined yet or become a consultant yet, quite simply because nobody's asked them to.
Exactly.
So crazy how we can talk about it all the time, and yet we hear it. I'm not kidding. Every single day we see some kind of post or share on all these other director pages and other team pages, etc. about, I couldn't believe it, I met her 3 years ago. Did I already share this as example at our accelerated leadership program? She's a star director, and her neighbor joined, and she came on live on our accelerated leadership program a couple months ago and just went, you guys, I'm sick. I have sold to my neighbor for about 3 years or 2 years, for a long time. And honestly, I never even went to her. She would just come to my house, pick up what she wanted, and it was great. Never followed up with her. Well, today she stopped by and told me how excited she was because she just joined Sensing. I never asked her. So think about those people. And I know we're talking about the PRV, but what you said, Randy, is so powerful. The more you share, the real life effects that this business has had on us financially, emotionally, physically, intellectually. It doesn't matter.
It's changed us.
The more contagious you make yourself by sharing these real things that have happened, then people are going to want to be a part of it. They're either going to want to hop on board because you made it look so simple by sharing it and you're constantly being real about sharing and showing it, or they're going to say, you know what, I should totally host because it's not going to be that hard, and yeah, I want stuff free. Or of course they want to buy, and that's how we get our PRV. So Linda, you said, hey, how about we host our own open house? So if you've done one before, who's done your own open house before? You can raise your hand. Oh, cool. Okay. So we would love for the three of you, chime in. What did your open house look like? Because I know the question has come up before. Well, I want to host my own open house, but I just want to sell the product I have. How am I going to get PRV from that? Right? And we're trying to increase our PRV. We want at least 1,200 PRV every month and sponsor a new team member. That's what we're shooting for. So we can rank advance, so we can get a feel of how to make this part of our everyday language. Because watch out, Brandy, this time next year, you're going to say, oh, 1,200, I've hit it all but 1 month or something. Who knows? But yeah, so I think, Lindsay, you said you've done an open house too. So tell me.
As my launch party, I did the open house. And the rest of them I've just done house parties for other people, but
perfect.
I did it well. It was, it was new, so I didn't really know what I was doing or how to set things up, or but you just jump in and you kind of figure it out.
So what did you do for it? Because you were new, you probably didn't have a lot of product.
I didn't. I just had what came in my kit. I just set things out. I had some snacks. I invited a lot of people, probably at least 70 people. I got about 10.
Wow.
So there wasn't a lot there, but it was enough to,
10's a good number.
How did you invite them?
It was enough to make it good. What's that?
How did you invite them?
I did texting and some emails, but mostly I did invites. I sent out invites, and then I did follow-up reminders.
Nice. And did you get
I have Facebook at that time, so I was Facebook free.
Oh.
I'm a newbie to Facebook.
Yeah, you see.
Look at you growing already.
Constantly stretching. So Lindsay, did you sell any PR? Did you make any PRV? Sell anything?
At my open house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I can't remember what I did that first month. I think it was probably 400 or so. Mm-hmm. It was enough to say, oh, I can do this. This is fun. The product sells itself.
Yeah, as long as we're sharing it, right? We got how to share it.
We have to share it. It's tough. It's hard for me to get out there and be vocal about it, but I try to wear my clothes when I'm, out and about in town. And we did a walk for the Hungry today, and I made sure to wear my shirt, my Scentsy shirt, not the crop walk shirt. But it was fun.
Yeah, that's good. Sounds like you're stretching already. And I want to elaborate on one of the comments, because we had this just happened the other day. Well, it's actually about a week ago, I guess. Somebody not on our team, but one of our leaders' teams in our group, and she was uncomfortable with the idea of asking some of her best customers if they wanted to become a consultant and join her team, because she wanted them to continue to buy from her. And that's where when we talk about the growth mindset success model, about where we're constantly prospecting and learning new ways to prospect and continue to grow our customer base. If you're not taking the advantage of the opportunity to be asking people to be joining your team, like we were just talking about, like Melissa was just sharing, what you run the risk of is just like the example Danette said. Somebody else joins, they know that person who's a customer of yours, they get excited about it, they ask them to join their team and sell Scentsy too, and not only then did you lose a customer, you lost a team member. So,
true.
Be careful with that. Stay aggressive at how you are constantly not only sharing the product, but sharing the consulting opportunity, the joining your team opportunity, the business potential opportunity of it too, so that you're growing that while at the same time you're prospecting and growing your customer base. You'll find over time, as you become a more seasoned consultant, that finding more and more customers and getting more and more sales becomes easier and easier and easier with you over time. And then you're going to be going, I want my team to be growing more and more and more. So don't be afraid of that aspect of the business. You need to share, be comfortable and share, as simple as sharing, just like Melissa talked about, the business opportunity as you are about sharing the product. The product sells itself. So does being a consultant if people are just being asked and they see the potential of it using things like the forum discussion that we've discussed before.
Well, you guys think about this. You said yes, and I'm pretty certain if it was presented to you, you didn't go, what did you just ask me? I cannot believe you think I'm going to be good at this because liar. No. When we are real and authentic, we are the best product we can possibly sell. Do you believe that you are the best product that is representing Scentsy right now? Because until you believe that, it is going to be a big challenge for you to start sponsoring. But if you leave here with nothing else after this whole call, be of that mindset to think, does everybody in my world know that not only am I a Scentsy consultant, but I really want to grow my team so I can help other people? Do they know that you want to sponsor more people? Because you know what? I wasn't in that mindset probably till 2-3 years ago. I loved referrals, but really, that's so generic. Nobody really knew. So man, I literally got so intentional holidays and conversations. My brother, I just said, okay, can I just remind you that this business is my livelihood, and you know how we like to spoil your sons and daughter, my nieces and nephews. You know how we like to spoil them. Well, we want to continue to do that. So by golly, if anyone in your world is looking for a little side income, you tell them your sister does Scentsy. Okay, of course I'm going to make it fat and juicy, worth your reward. Not like I don't already with your kids, but you get what I'm saying. And then I've done that with my neighbors, my sweet 86-year-old neighbors. Hey, they're going to California. They have 2 Scentsy warmers. They're Chinese. They don't use it a lot. Not sure why, but I just tagged it up because they're Chinese. They don't do a lot of candles. Okay, that was very stereotype, and I don't mean that.
They know a lot about Scentsy and how successful Scensy's been as a company.
They can't deny it.
How successful we've been with it.
So I said to Jimmy and Mitzi, hey, when you go to California, I'm going to leave you some catalog. I would love for you to take them because you know what? I know you guys may not want a lot of Scentsy, but your family lives next door. I'll take care of them if anyone in California buys from me, or of course they want to start this business because you've seen what it's done for us. So that is a big mission for you guys, a big takeaway for this week between now and next week. Do the people in your world know that this is your business? Do the people in your world know this is not just a hobby for you? How are you going to present that? So yeah, open house is a great way to get your name out there all over in your neighborhood. And just like Lindsay said, it's not about what you have to show, it's how you share it, right? Including yourself.
Right.
So keep that in mind. And I love actually when Bonnie shared that she kind of has just been really concentrating even with your team members, your prospects for new team members, your prospects for new hosts and customers. When you're finding out the form, FORM, it really is just a very intentional way of getting to know people, making friends, like Lisa Hendrickson's video talked about in Rock Your Recruiting. It's about finding that common ground. That's all it is. Once you find the common ground, you guys notice that, yeah, you're going to have to keep track of them. You're going to have to make a list of the people that you make common ground with. And if you don't, then that's more of a hobbyist. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It's a transition. I didn't keep track of people I met all the time until my last, 5-6 years. So I have a blessing book. I keep track of all these people. I started with the family tree though, because you got to start somewhere. And then when you sponsor somebody off of that tree, when you get somebody to host off of that tree or whatever, then you can move them out on a different branch. Or in my case, I highlight them in a different color. And until they're green, that's my color when they join, green, yay! So like green was money because I want to know. I'm going to go back to what Bonnie said. She said organization. So in the industry, form is known I want to know all about their family. Do they have kids? Oh my gosh, what do you know about them? How can you find common ground when you talk to them about their kids? Are they married? What can you talk about common ground if they're married? Are they divorced? What can you get the idea? Family. Occupation. What do they do for a living? So as you're talking to them, what I love, why not have organizations are they involved with? Also, I love that, because how are they going to integrate Scentsy in their everyday natural world? And the key there is natural. You're not just going to walk up to people or here's what's been happening. You're not just going to go to a Starbucks and lay all your scents out and wait for people to come in and then pounce on them at their table. Hey, you want to smell? I'm a Scentsy consultant. No, that's not what we say. That's not what we mean when we tell you to go to a Starbucks and set up. It's just to draw attention to you because you're having so much fun. You're doing your office work on your computer. You're smelling. You're filling out your kudo cards. Whatever you're doing, just do it there as if that's your office. If people are interested, they're going to ask you. And then pretty soon you might give a catalog or two, but they're going to ask you. You don't get up from your table and go pimp on them like vomit, etc. But my point there is, if you met them, how are you going to remind yourself and trigger some kind of follow-up? You've got to do it with your list of 100, your family tree, etc. So
10, 10.
that 10, 10, 10. So Lori, I would love to hear from you. What form or Tina, in fact, you had your hand up. Tina, did did you forget it, or did we cover it, or?
I don't remember what I had my hand up for.
Okay, sorry.
But I was just gonna chime in though. I actually have a team member here sitting, listening in, just because I want her to experience the just everything that you guys offer us as far as, you know, the advice and how to, you know, stretch ourselves. Because obviously I didn't even know what stretch was until I got in with Scentsy. So Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Join Team Stretching Pants.
She's already part of the team, but she's just starting. Yes, she's just starting out, and her first month was a little tough, but she's starting to grow and, you know, get there. So,
good for you.
And then I was gonna say too is I've even brought my boyfriend on board, not as a team member, but I bought the Scentsy Go. He's a truck driver, and I've made him take it to the truck stops and put it on the table with him so that everybody can smell it while they're there and see that it would be perfect for their trucks.
So great.
Great idea.
I said, you know, you don't have to say anything. Just put it on the table. And if they come and ask you what it is, give them my card and my catalog. And then they can, so while he's all out on 50 states, he's got a job to do for me at home. So, you know, it's just about trying to, you know, today I talked to my brother's girlfriend about joining. She's a new mom. She doesn't have, you know, she doesn't want to leave the baby. And I said, you know, I just brought the opportunity. You can work from home, you can work on your phone, and you can still stay home with the baby and still bring home enough to pay a couple bills extra, you know, a month while my brother's, you know, paying for the rest of the stuff. So,
real world,
you know, and that's the way I try to approach it, and all of it is just bring it back to real world. If you're having financial problems and you're having an issue, you know, paying your light bill every month, why not join Scentsy? I mean, the worst you're going to do is make a couple $100 and be able to pay that light bill every month.
Yeah.
I said, but you can stretch it so much further and make it so much more than just a light bill.
Yeah.
You know what I love about what you just said? This is so great, Tina. First of all, how you said, okay, this is a tough first start or go for Stephanie. And you know what, Stephanie? It is. If it were, everybody would be doing it, and they're not. But you did. You hopped on for a reason. And so it will get better. It will get more comfortable. And I promise you, it is so worth it. And then what you said, Tina, about how you let everyone know this is why you should join, you know, have you ever thought, you know, well, you didn't say that, but it made me think. And Bonnie, I know you can relate to this because you've been around for a long time too. it was a challenge for me to figure out, and I never said can't, because can't means you quit, you don't care, and you give up. But it was a challenge for me at first to come up with the guts to come right out and say, will you join my team? Will you join Scentsy? But until we give them that opportunity to literally tell us no, the answer is still no.
Right.
And what I mean by that is you said something that reminded me of me with I can't remember the team member, but I had her in mind when you said that, so I apologize. Doesn't matter. I remember saying, oh my gosh, you would be so perfect. You want to be a stay-at-home mom. You're part-time with teaching right now. You should sell Scentsy, make a little income. And I remember her, she says, yeah, I know, that would be so great. So, and anyway, you're going to go to the baseball game, and what else are you doing this? I didn't ask her, did I? I just said, you should do it. So now my language, I come right in and ask, but I like to give them an out because
plant the seed.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I meant it when I said you want it. So whatever reason you joined, Stephanie, think of that. Why did you join? Why are you here, Brandy? Why is it that 1,200 just warmed the cockles of your heart? Why is it, Emily, that you're making time for this on top of your crazy busy schedule? And when you find somebody else in your world that you know can use the benefit of some kind of Scentsy income, and you let them know, oh my gosh, Emily, you would be so great at Scentsy. You know why I think so? Because you're a hard worker. I think you're very, very smart, and you work, you really relate to people. You know how to work a crowd, and you're kind of quiet at the same time, totally opposite of me. How can we make that happen, you starting your own Scentsy business? Was that insulting? I hope not. But I'm telling you right now, if Emily wanted to join, she would join right then. When I say, how can we make that happen? You joining your own Scentsy, you starting your own Scentsy business. I don't say join, but I say starting. Or how can we make that happen? Make some part-time income. You're going to have some income just for shopping for Christmas. So hopefully you guys come up with your own. If that doesn't feel right, you get the idea. I really want to know. If Brandy didn't want to hop on board after I said, oh my gosh, Brandy, you can totally make your house payment. You've already proven it. How can we make that happen? You start your own Scentsy business to pay for your house. She's going to tell me, right? Yes or no? Yay, yes. Woohoo! She's going to hop on board. No, because yay, I get to add someone to my family tree because now I'm going to write down why exactly it wasn't Brandy ready yet. So with that in mind, who has some kind of family tree, 10, 10, 10, or list of 100 that you'd be willing to tell us about? We're not asking to see it, but walk us through it. What do you do? Or did you just start something because of the beach and the flip-flop group? Because I told you I do a blessing book.
So think about it. We've been talking about a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, being a Scentsy consultant. Very much a growth mindset mentality is one who uses the 10, 10, 10, the list of 100, the family tree as an intentional plan. You're really making a thought out, methodical, intentional step towards how you want to go about building and growing your Scentsy team in an intentional way. So that's very much a big time difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. One who's just kind of winging it, and hopefully maybe some point at some time somebody's going to join my team, or somebody's really has a game plan and is using some tools to help them intentionally grow.
And Lori, I hollered at you earlier and forgot to come back to you. So hopefully you remembered. And then of course, yes, by all means, share how you keep track of all of these people we meet. Can't hear you. Lori, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
I can see your lips moving though. And your arm.
I can hear her.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, we'll let you guys listen then.
You guys listen, tell us about it.
That's weird.
I can't hear her.
Oh, some can, some can't. Interesting.
I can't hear her either.
Isn't that fascinating? I love technology. Hey, let me try something here.
All right, I'll say what she says.
Perfect. Talk slow, Lori.
She's from the South, so she can't talk slow.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm going to try to unmute everybody, and then I'm going to mute you all. Okay, now try, Lori.
She's talking.
Okay, I have a favor to ask, Lori, because I can tell with that emotion in your face and how you're using your hands, it's good. Will you type it in the chat, please? Did she say yes, Lindsay?
She's going to try to figure it out on her phone.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay, who else would like to give us some 2 cents worth? Like Linda, what's your list look like? What is it about? How do you keep track of people you meet?
It's my list of 100, but I also have my blessing book. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I keep track of customers in there and what they've used and all their phone numbers. And I try, when I first started with Scentsy, I didn't have Facebook either. So it was face-to-face contacts or phone calls, personal phone calls. And my launch party was, I remember, I think $1,500.
Wow.
Nice.
So I think face-to-face is always better. So I just met with Daisha, my newest recruit. Today, this afternoon, we're having her launch party on Saturday. So she prefers face-to-face too, so which was really good. So she said we should have a few people there. So I'm hoping, and then she already is prospecting a lady already. So she
Nice.
said she would be perfect for the business. So
Why did she say?
she wants Scentsy and she loves it already, and so she's gonna approach her. Well, you just need to do the business then.
So Linda, what are some of the things that you write in your blessing book?
I write what they
product if they're a customer.
Yeah, product if they're a customer, their birthdays, to send them some information, and always the email address if they have one, so I can email them to any specials that you might have going on that you want to do. So that's how I contact most of mine, and I'll do a little bit of Facebook, but I'm not too tech savvy, so kind of mess things up in that area.
Do you keep track, or if it's on your same in your blessing book, do you keep track of who you've had buy from you, or who has been a host, or who you've asked the opportunity to, or any of that?
Mostly who's been a host and what they've bought. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yay. And it's non-stop, constantly keeping track. That was hard for me to grasp in this business because I meet people a lot.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be very intentional in how you write it out, because that's what I do too.
It is, because life gets in the way.
So weird how that happens, isn't it?
I know it.
Does anyone have something different, or even something to add to what, if you do it similar to Linda, how you keep track of your people, your customers, your people that you've asked about the business, or you don't really know them? So your 10, 10, 10, where you write down little mind triggers. What do you do? And if you don't, what's jumping out at you is something you're going to start doing. Because I'm telling you, you guys have great sizes of teams to capitalize on this. There's no excuse.
Can you hear her now?
No, can you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Nope.
The only one.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, Lindsay, Ken wants to know, are you guys in the same room?
Are we in the same town?
Not even in the same town. Not even the same state.
No, we're not in the same town.
Okay. Look how cute it is. He's just all. That's awesome. Well, I want to share something with you guys that, and by all means, type it in if you feel more comfortable. If there's another, I mean, I would love to know. Do you keep just even type it in, but shout it out real quick. Do you keep a list of 100? Do you keep a family tree? Do you do the 10-10-10, or do you do the blessing book? If you don't do any of those, what do you do? Just shout it out or type it. How do you keep track of these people that you meet?
So, I'm sorry. I had my list of 100, and then I started realizing that I'm missing people, like we had talked about last week. So I'm switching to the 10-10-10, but like there's a Girl Scout 10-10-10 that has about 35 on it. There's a church one. My son's in band, so I have several 10-10-10 lists that are past 10.
So great. So you're going to have a folder of all these 10-10-10s.
Yeah.
Okay, who else? And Emily, what are some of the other details you add to the list of 100? So what else do you guys use? What do you use, Emily and Linda and Melissa? I think just had to pop off, but KP, Lori, you can type it in. Bonnie, what do you have? What do you got?
Okay, I'll go. I'm not real good about the 10-10-10. What I have is a more exact list. I tack it on my back door to my garage, and I see it every day that I walk out that door into my car, and reminded of what I did last year and the year before, of people that I think are stellar for repeat parties to talk to again about the business opportunity. So it's right there in front of my face, and that works best for me. Because when I do the 10-10-10 or make the list of 100, basically what I do is just take those people from there and then move it forward to that door, so it's more visible.
How long into your Scentsy career would you say, Bonnie or Linda, did you decide to intentionally keep track or make that list? Have you done it since day one, or when did you decide that you had to keep track?
You know, it's been probably 3 years ago that I finally realized the value of it. I'm pretty good at memorizing or remembering those kind of things. But as I age, I see that that's declining also.
Well, and you're very social.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy being social. So that works better for me.
Nice. What about you, Linda?
Same as Bonnie, probably about 3 years ago, I realized that I needed to keep better records track.
See how advantageous this is for all of you newbies? Oh my gosh, if I were to look back, this would have been one of the most powerful tools I could have implemented. There's so many people that went by the wayside because I forgot to write them down, or why I knew them. I put their name down, but I didn't have contact. I don't remember where I met them. So therefore, I'm not going to go to all that work because I was too lazy to follow up on them. And then I didn't keep track of who I already asked and how long ago so I could follow up. But it is so amazing how it helps you. You know what? Thinking out loud right now, when I first implemented it, about after 5 years in the business, it really did trigger me to want to ask them to join, because it reminded me of, I have never even asked these, and I don't want somebody else to ask them before I do. So I got to go see, how can we make that happen? So Lori, you typed in here, you keep a ledger from your events on everyone, and you've done it for 2 years. Rock star. That's impressive. And you keep track of name, phone, email, Facebook contact, what they bought. Okay, nice. Is it in a folder? Is it in a notebook? Is it on a spreadsheet? What do you use, Tina? Or what do you think you're going to use if you haven't started?
Well, as you know, this is only like my, second, I just hit my 70 days. I have to say that probably since I started, this has been my most challenging month. I was I was telling Lori the third day in, I'm like, I don't know about this month. I'm already feeling not so good about it. But Wednesday's leadership meeting got me back into motivation mode, and I honestly, I haven't really intentionally kept anything. I just am, I'm not a social butterfly. I don't do face-to-face very well. I'm more the technical, if it's on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or LinkedIn or Google Plus, I have one of everything, and I just, I'm just constantly trying to meet new people and network that way. But I haven't like intentionally sat down and made like a list of 100 yet. That's my goal to do this week. So, I mean, I have it in my head, the people that who I want to talk to about the business. And I've got about 6 people that I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
So it's just, and I was going to say, just to add back, one of my things today that I used, I don't know if it's right or not. It happens to be family, so I can kind of talk to them a little differently than I do somebody in the street. But, it was, oh, well, I don't know that many people. Well, neither did I. Well, I don't have time for that. Well, I was always too busy too. As long as you make excuses, you're going to make excuses why you can't do it and why you can't, why you can't better your situation by making the excuses, because I made excuses for a lot of things in my lifetime that I'm just now starting to realize was not okay. So, that's kind of where I am with her is, stop making excuses, and what can we do to get you on and get you moving in the direction you want for you and your family.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. And what I really like hearing too, Tina, is that did you want to add something? Ken got all excited. You felt super comfortable talking to your sister. Why is that? Was it your sister? It was a family member.
Right.
You felt so comfortable. You know why? Because you know her.
Right.
Pretty soon, you're going to get to know these people on our lists or on our trees or on our blessing. You get to know them to where it becomes so comfortable. And you do accidentally, super fat bonus, become friends with them. And I can't tell you how many of my hosts that I've become such good friends with, and I'll just come out and say, Bev, I am not doing another party for you. No, you're just going to join, because there's no reason for me to keep getting paid for the commission. So I don't know what your ambition is there, but if you want someone else to do your party, that's great. But you may as well do your first one. And guess what? She still didn't join, but I don't mind. I was honest, and she still does parties with me because I didn't stick to it. But I just wanted to let her know where I was with her. What were we gonna say?
Who was that?
Tina.
Mm-hmm. And Tina, you're the one sitting there with Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now you have an accountability buddy, where you can both maybe sit down together, do your 10-10-10 list together, or your list of 100 or whatever. And then you can mentor. I think you got a great mentor there, Stephanie, and Tina, and how she's embracing this. One of the things that Danette uses that is absolutely so true in this business is the more you learn, the more you earn. And the fact that you guys are here taking this step tells us a lot about your character, what you have going on between your ears, but that you are taking the steps that necessary to take this business for yourself to the next level. And that's pretty cool that you have Stephanie there, Tina. Pretty neat.
Yeah, so, and this is what is so, I love our small group chats. In fact, in talking to a couple of directors, they have like one person, and if that one person can't make it, then they don't have anyone to talk to. So I'm very grateful for you guys, because I would record something. I would make it up, but it wouldn't be near as exciting or rewarding. So thank you for making the time to make this happen, because this really, every little bit is going to help your business get to where you want it to do.
Yeah, she'd make
where
me
you want
talk.
it to go.
She'd make me have to talk to her. So I'm glad you're all here.
Can I just add one thing that I would like to have more discussion about, and not necessarily tonight, but Ken, this kind of goes into your arena, I believe, and that is the value of this investment. Simple $99. The fact that we don't have to buy inventory, all the value of getting that money back from your investment in possibly your first party, especially this time of year. I think that's worth the time to talk about down the road.
Yeah,
statistically, relating statistics and all of that to that value of that investment.
Yeah.
Well, and that is
because I think that's another seller.
Oh, for sure. Such a good point. And that's part of the consultant value proposition, the CVP.
No.
And Bonnie, when we talk about the strong start, we'll cover it a little bit more in detail there. Because one of the things that we always say to our brand new team members is promise me that just because you paid $99 or at the time $49, promise me that just because you had such a low intro fee that you will not take for granted for 1 minute the potential of the huge return on the investment. Because the easy thing to do, right, is to think, oh, it's only $99, heck. You know, if it was a $200,000 storefront that you just opened, would you work it a little differently? Yeah. And the potential for the income is just as high, if not higher.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, very valid. I love that.
Well, and Bonnie, it kind of goes with, like, sometimes people will say, well, maybe when you're talking to them about the business opportunity and you talk about a website, what would a website, if you started your own business and you had to create your own website and then you had to update it every month and you had to keep it active and you wanted to do flash sales and you wanted to do all of these other things that we get that we're able to drive directly from having a web presence for our own URL, for our own Scentsy business.
Yeah.
How much would that cost you to do that? And what does it cost us? $10. I mean, it's an incredible ROI, unbelievable ROI, especially for somebody like Tina, who's focusing on pretty much having a web-based business, an internet-based business, social media and all of that. That's a key tool to the success of that. So, yeah, I think that's a very valid point. I mean, even simple things like, well, what do you get for $99? You get more than $99 worth of stuff. When you were doing the $49 join, when we have that opportunity and we're sharing that, I mean, criminy, you can get a warmer and a couple of bars cost you $49. You're starting your own business for $49, for goodness sake. What's the potential upside from that? So yeah, both of those, Danette's points and your point, Bonnie, absolutely right. You know, spot on. I think when we start getting into more sponsoring discussions, the dialogue and how to have that dialogue, I think that'll be a good point, a good place for us to maybe put even more meat on that bone as far as the numbers of what we're getting from this business.
So here's what I want to leave you guys with. So a fun little, just your own business challenge. Nobody's going to come inspect you, etc. So we talked a little bit about form, the family, find out about occupation, recreation, how would money make a difference in their world. So we call that the M for money. So this is your challenge. You want to try in the big picture. You want to try this time of year, especially, to add 10 new people to your family tree somehow, to your list, okay, to your outline, to your who am I going to follow up with in the future type list. Because you notice most people don't join the first second you meet them. So it does take a little bit of follow up, and the more information we can keep, the better. It's not a cow. This is just to play off of a little bit. How do you get yourself in a growth mindset to be intentional about meeting people so I can add about 10 names to my super fun blessing book somehow? So have any of you heard of F.R.A.N.K.S list before? F.R.A.N.K.S list is probably just as common in the industry as form is. So one way to go about it is F.R.A.N.K.S list. So this is your challenge. Yeah, I want you to see if you can add 10 new people somehow, some way between now and next Sunday. And will you remind me? I'll write that down because I want to ask you so I don't forget. So I'm going to ask you, hey, how did it go? What did you run into? What did you find happened when you were intentionally trying to go out and meet 10 people? Give them 10 catalogs, 10 samples, get 10 return informations in return. What kind of information did you get in return? Did you get an email? Did you get an address? Did you get a phone number? Did you get that they were wearing a really cute pink hat and that's what I'm going to play off of next week? Because that's sometimes what we get, I guess, right? So F.R.A.N.K.S list. This is what I want you to try to do this next week, and then hopefully it becomes a little bit more natural. Let everybody in your F.R.A.N.K.S list know that you are loud and proud Scentsy consultant, and why. For the next 30 days or for Christmas. What is it, Brandy, about you're making that payment? That to me would be a huge thing to say, you know what? I was able to make my house payment with my Scentsy money next week. I want everyone on my F.R.A.N.K.S list to know that I would love to change their life as this opportunity. And I'm going right to the opportunity. Yes, it would be great if they don't want to join or are not interested in the business that they maybe want to host or buy. I do join, host, buy, not buy, host, join. That's not my conversation. My conversation with you is who in your family, that's the F in F.R.A.N.K.S list. Everyone in your family, you reach out to them this week and you let them know, you know what? I'm really hoping to make this the best Christmas my family's ever had. I don't want to just have a Christmas we can afford. I want it to be one that they deserve, etc. Whatever it is, you get the idea. But you got to know that. You got to really believe why it is you're doing your Scentsy. Why is it that you're giving so much of yourself for 90 days, twice a week, live calls or Zooms? Why is it that you're beating yourself up and you're eating yourself alive, figuring out how am I going to get my 1,200? How am I going to find somebody? Why is it? Because if you don't believe it, then that is what you need to stew on in this next week or so. The R, all of your relatives. So you have, did I say family? That's family, occupation, recreation, money. I went to the wrong one. Sorry. It's friends. Just your friends. I want you to go to your friends first because those will be, we're doing Frank's list. Friends, F, Frank. R are relatives. A are your associates. I'll go back on them too, and you can always play the recording back. Yeah. A are the associates in your work. Who else are you associated with, and who are they associated with? N, neighbors. Yeah, baby, your neighbors. Remember the story of the star director whose neighbor joined, but not with her. K, kids. Who do you know that has kids? Oh my golly, because think ding ding, stay at home mom, think ding ding, want to give them the birthday they want or deserve, not just the one that they can afford. Think however kids can benefit from having a mom in this industry, in this business. And then the last one is the S, that's the spouse or significant other. Okay, so when you have your Frank's list, when you've written down these friends, you are going to purposely reach out to every friend, every relative that you make, and hopefully these people are already on your list of 100. And if not, guess what you just did? You're adding them. Then you have your associates, and then you have your neighbors, and then you have your neighbors' associates, and then you have your spouse, and you have your kids, and then you get the idea. But by this time next week, everyone in your Frank's list is going to know. You not only are a Scentsy consultant, but by golly, would you love other people to be on this journey with, and here's why. Okay, and if you need to use that language, hey, remember when I talked to you about 3 months ago and I told you about the European trip? Well, I would love for you to go on that trip with me. How can we make that happen? How can we make this business fit into your world? Okay, so there's your fun little challenge. And then we'll, we're in the mountains, so it does take a little bit longer for us to post the recording, but I'm going to try my guts out to get that done tonight. I'm leaving you with that super great challenge, and then we'll chat about it next Sunday. And you don't want to miss Wednesday. Oh, it gets more fun from here because it's not just numbers. It's all like how. Not just the why, but the how. Okay, any last questions or thoughts from y'all? Nice, Linda. You paid for Christmas.
Have fun in the mountains.
Oh, it's snow here.
Oh, burr.
Yeah, already. Oh, make sure you catch the recording. But Emily, we're cheering for you. Let's slay that PRV at your fun home party. And then hopefully you get some parties booked at your home party. Not hopefully. Make a plan to make that happen. Anyone else? Frankly, my dear, we're out of here. Oh, do you want to
trying to type you something.
Good night, everyone.
Say that again, Lindsay.
Good night.
She was trying to type you something. Who is it that you can't hear? Lori?
Lori.
Yeah. She's trying to type something.
Okay.
I have to say that I am super glad that I have somebody now on my team. I just, like Ken had told me before, that, you know, it's a blessing to tell people about it. And it really is. And until I had somebody with me, you know, I can see it. So it's kind of cool having Casey with me now on my team, just to feel that, to be the mama, you know, and to kind of guide her and help her grow, because I do want that for her. I want her to feel that. It's exciting to get somebody on my team.
Isn't that the truth? There's just something about it that just makes it way more fun to have that accountability buddy, business partner close.
Yeah. Yep.
And Lindsay's really close to rank advancement.
I am. Party last night, so I got to get that put in, but she wants to hold it for a week, and then I've got 4 more parties left for the month. So I'm hoping I can make the 12, but it is scary.
Just put on your stretchy pants, sister, and get out there and make it happen. You can.
Trying.
Scary means stretching. I think they go hand in hand. Okay, you guys. Lori, feel free to PM. Good night, you guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.